All right, what's going on? Been a couple weeks now since we had a live stream. So let's let me get settled here, make sure everything is good. All right, welcome to AMA 65. This is going to be a live stream centered around the topic of gambling addiction. Hopefully we can get a couple people to show up and we can sort of discuss their stories or maybe answer some questions in regards to this gambling addiction niche that I've stumbled upon. Also, we will talk about anything else in the meantime, anything about like the channel or whatever else is going on. But if you missed the live broadcast of this and you're just watching the replay, the next live stream is probably going to be August, I want to say 6th, which is Sunday at 7 p.m. This is like the new time that sort of works the best for me, instead of streaming in the middle of the day. So I don't know. I'm still kind of working on it. The streams, they aren't at the top of my priority list when it comes to content. I've still mainly been focused more on just regular YouTube videos, for example. And I try to stream at least once a week. So if you're new here, consider subscribing and come join me in the next live stream and we can chat. So yesterday, I released a video talking about a near, I don't know what you would call it. It wasn't a relapse. I know that's like a common word that you would describe someone resorting back to an old addiction or breaking their streak per se. But I guess I almost relapsed. I had this like crazy urge to want to play on PokerStars. And I guess to give you the Cliff's Notes of the video for anyone that didn't want to watch it, I was watching the World Series of Poker, I think it was last week, on YouTube, which was the main event, which is the $10,000 buy-in, the World Championship. And normally, I don't really care for it that much anymore. Like I used to love the World Series of Poker. That's what got me into playing poker and what got me into gambling. It was my gateway game. And I played in the 2009 World Series, I think, something like that. So anyways, the past 4 or 5 World Series main events, I didn't even watch, as I've been able to just completely stay away from this entire world. However, last week, maybe I was just bored. I had a lapse in my judgment, but I think I was just really tired. I was overtired. It was late at night, and I was just mindlessly scrolling on YouTube. And when I mindlessly scroll, it's not like TikTok. I'm not like scrolling on my phone. I'm usually on my computer. So I'm on like the browse homepage. And then all of a sudden I see this pop up, the World Series of Poker main event. And I think it caught my curiosity because it was a stream. So that's what I sort of found intriguing. I was like, oh, this is live. Like this is a live stream. It's not recorded. I was like, okay, this is going on right now. And so I watched it, which obviously was a mistake. And then I ended up staying up. I can't even remember now, like 4 or 5 a.m. or something. I was like just staying up super late. And I was just, my veins were just full of adrenaline. I was so excited. My eyes were like wide open. I felt like I got a second wind. I wasn't tired or lethargic anymore. I was like super energized. And I had this crazy urge to want to play poker. And this was very bizarre because this feeling is somewhat foreign to me now, as it's been 10 years since I've been in a casino playing cards. But the urge that came, it was so strong. And that autopilot sort of kicked in, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just acting. And so all of a sudden I was like looking at poker apps or new poker apps that are available on the Android store. I was looking at, what online poker rooms still are alive or still kicking, like PokerStars. There was another one that I was looking at, Poker GG or something. I can't remember. But anyways, I was like looking at all these websites, and all of a sudden I started downloading them. And I'm like, man, what am I doing? So it took me a moment to finally gain my composure, and come to my senses and realize like, wow, this is dumb. Like I am getting so excited to, to do what? Jump back into my old PokerStars account and play a bunch of No Limit Texas Hold'em at 5 in the morning when I'm super tired and I haven't played in years. And obviously that is a super poor decision. And so I found that rather interesting because I've never felt that way in a long time. And I figured that it was worthy of making a video on. So that was the reason behind creating yesterday's YouTube video. So yeah, I had a pretty interesting week. And of course, the World Series of Poker, for those of you that don't know. For the main event, it's a $10,000 US buy-in. And first place was 12.1 million. So this is like a super serious amount of money that you could win. And this isn't the only event at the World Series. There's 60, 70 events. Like there's a ton of events. It doesn't mean you just have to play for 10,000. They have some $500 buy-ins, some $1,000 too. I think they even have a high roller that's like $100,000 buy-in. So like there's a wide range of stakes that's available at the World Series. And it's not just Hold'em. It's all forms of poker. There's No Limit Hold'em. There's Omaha. There is Raz. There's 7-card stud. There's mixed games. Like there's all kinds of stuff. Heads up. And that's what I love. That's what I loved so much about the whole event. It was so exciting, right? Because every winner of one of those events, they would receive one of these golden World Series of Poker bracelets. And every single poker player in the world that's serious, we all dream of, winning a World Series of Poker golden bracelet one day. It's like the epitome of a poker professional. It's like their version of the NBA Finals or the green jacket of a PGA Tour or the Grand Slam at Wimbledon for tennis or something like that, right? Like that's the equivalent for poker players. Even if you're not a tournament player, like even if you just play for cash, just the prestige of the World Series of Poker, there's something so alluring and enticing about it. And I can see why, so many people in 2003 got hooked into poker. That was like the big poker boom 20 years ago. And it hasn't relented. It's still going strong. As this past main event, I'm pretty sure they had the most entrants ever. I think it was the biggest field. There was over 10,000 people who put up 10 grand. So that's what? That's like, what's 10,000 by 10,000 multiplied by 10,000 is 100 million? Is my math right? Okay, I think so. Yeah, 100 million. So we have a prize pool of $100 million. So let me just change this. All chat. So yeah, so I got back into that. I watched all the days because what's crazy about the main event, it's not like a one-day thing. Like there are 9 days. Like it's a grueling long event. And each day it's like 12, 14 hours. Like it's a massive, massive grind to win this poker tournament. I remember in the beginning, obviously the casinos don't have the capacity to seat 10,000 players all at the same time. So you'd have like day 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. So there was 4 separate days where they would split up 2,500 players. And after they would go through those days, eventually they would group everyone into like day 2 and 3. And still, it's like this massive, massive field. There's like tons of people all over the place. There's professionals, there's amateurs, there's internet qualifiers, there's like senior, old, retired people, there's like 21-year-old young kids. Like there's a wide variety of everything at the World Series. And it's just, man, I guess I missed it. Like I missed watching it or missed playing. Like I don't know what it is because I haven't watched in so many years. Just getting back into that environment, it was super fun. It was, I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it. Like I was all in. I was hooked. I had my poker chips at my table, which I have right over here. So I was playing with these and then watching poker on my computer on my big monitor over here. And it was like a great time. But that is sort of like in my past, right? Poker was a game that consumed my 20s, and I don't really regret it because I learned a lot of things, especially about being an entrepreneur, being a businessman. Even though that business failed, right? Eventually my poker business, it failed and I had to give it up, obviously. But I learned a lot of lessons from that experience. It was like a 9-year experience, right? So I learned so much. I have this perspective now when it comes to money and gambling and even just like the type of people that I would see and encounter. And yeah, and I'm happy I went through that because it made a huge impact on this YouTube channel, right? Like for years, I didn't even know what my YouTube channel was going to be about, right? I was trying to figure out what was my niche. I couldn't figure out what my voice was, who my audience was. I was trying everything. I was looking at what were all my interests. Like I liked basketball, I liked StarCraft, I liked poker, I liked working out. Like there's all these different hobbies that I enjoyed, and I was just trying everything. I'd bring like my GoPro and record a basketball game, and that didn't work. And then I'd make videos playing like video games, like those Let's Play series that you see on YouTube. That didn't work. Like there's so much failure that I went through up until this point that it's kind of fascinating that poker was a part of the reason for my channel to find its own identity. This whole psychedelic mushroom gambling thing, I don't even know what it is. This niche that I've kind of stumbled upon by fluke. This is part of like my identity. This is part of like the content I create. And again, like if it wasn't for those past failures, those hardships that I went through, I never would have got here. But it was painful, man. It was like a painful, painful journey. Hopefully, or at least with my intent for all these anti-gambling videos, is that, if you are, especially like a younger person, that's in me, let's say your early 20s, and maybe you just finished school or you're in college and you're thinking about just going to the casino for fun or maybe betting on some hockey or basketball games, like getting into sports betting. Hopefully some of these videos will help those people stop or quit before it's too late. As there are some people who can gamble responsibly. Like I know them. I have friends that, they can place a bet. They can go to the casino, spend $50, have a good time, go home and think nothing of it. And they just go back to work, back to the routine, like as if nothing happened. But other people like myself, they just can't do that. Like as soon as you play, you get that rush, you get that dopamine hit, right? And that's what you're addicted to, the dopamine. Because that's what gambling does. That's what that rush is. That what if today is my lucky day? What if I hit it big? What if I win the jackpot? Right? That is every gambler's dream, right? That's what everyone is hoping for. And so you have to fight that. And especially now with like our cell phones, like you can just go to the Google Play Store, and I'm sure the Apple Store has it too. Just search for like gambling or I don't know, casino. Let's search for casino. Or even like sports betting, like DraftKings, FanDuel. Like there's so many apps, and there's all this advertisement for gambling and sports betting that the access is right there. You don't have to go to a casino anymore. Like, that was the friction in the past. You'd have to actually make the trip, drive to a brick and mortar casino, and then to play. But now with our cell phones, you can just, it's in your pocket. It's on you at all times. So you always have that access. And that's what I think is dangerous. Because there's going to be somebody that, maybe they are a big NFL fan, for example, and they're watching football, and then all of a sudden one of their friends like, hey man, you want to place like $20, on the money line or on the spread or whatever prop bet there is. That's harmless. $20 with a friend, sure. But what if you are one of those people that gets hooked, that takes it too far, that doesn't know how to just say no after one bet, where now you can't just watch football anymore for the enjoyment of it. You have to have money riding on every single game. Because that's what happened to me with basketball. Like before, when I was still gambling pretty frequently, I had money on every single game every night, every NBA game. And then if I didn't, like say, for example, I was busy at work all day and I got home late, and I wasn't able to place my bets before the 7 p.m. start, which is usually the start time for NBA slates, is that the games usually start around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so, some days if I got home late and I wasn't able to, make my picks or set my lineups, then everything would feel deflated. There would be so much less excitement because I didn't have money riding on the games. And then it ruined the whole sport for me. Because now there's sometimes where I'm watching a basketball game, and I love basketball, and I'd be like, dang, I wish I had money riding on this because they would make it so much more exciting. So it sort of ruins the natural beauty of the game, and it ruins the enjoyment of it. So now it's tough for me to I can't sit through a full 48 minutes of an NBA game. But if I have money on the point spread, or if I have money on a certain player, or I have money on a certain prop bet, I'd be engaged for the full 48 minutes because it makes everything so much more exciting. And that's why sports betting is so popular. And it's only even going to get bigger because the commissioner of the NBA, that guy Adam Silver, he talks about this openly, that NBA supports sports betting. They have these commercials for FanDuel and what are the other betting apps? Bet365 or DraftKings. Like whenever you're watching one of these games, you see these gambling commercials, right? So yeah, it's kind of sad, right? So hopefully we can make a difference, especially for the younger generation. Of course, making a difference for anyone, regardless of their age, is awesome. But I'm really concerned about, I don't know what you would call it, the instant gratification, I want everything now generation that's coming up, where they get everything at a swipe of their phone. You want food? Bam, Uber Eats. You want to watch a movie? Bam, Netflix. You want to gamble? Bam, FanDuel, right? And so that's what I'm really scared of. Yo, Kevin, what's up? Oh, actually, can I type here? Whoops, I forgot typing. What's going on, Mr. Drama? How you doing? Camille? Hey, Derek, hope all is well. I agree. I almost have stopped watching sports since having money on it made it interesting. Now most games are boring, which is all right because I use my time better now. Yeah, see? So you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's even if you have like $10 on a hockey game, right? Even if it's just like a small amount of money, it just makes the whole game so exciting. Every pass is that much more interesting. Every shot on net is a chance that maybe you'll cover the spread, or maybe you'll hit your prop, or whatever it is. It adds this extra layer of excitement to the game in the form of entertainment, right? But then when you go from that and you just go back to watching like a regular hockey game, I don't know, the Leafs and the Bruins on a Monday night or something. It's kind of like blah. It's bland. It's dull. It's not as fun. So, yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. But thanks for stopping by, dude. I hope I said your name right, Camille, and I hope everything is better. But it sounds like you have stopped and you're using your time better now, so that's great. That's the best decision you could have made. Let's see, Mr. Drama. The hate on my channel is really messing with me, but I will remain stoic. Yeah, it's tough, bro. I wish I could I wish I had some good words of encouragement or advice for you. It's just tough because, especially with your niche, right? You're going to garner more people that are outraged, which in turn will result in more hateful comments. And that is just part of the game, right? It's just, man, it's such an easy thing to say. Don't listen to the haters, right? It's so easy to just say that, but to actually do it in real time, it's tough. Because, like, you know, I have the same issue as you, but not on that extreme of a level. I do get haters and trolls every once in a while, not at the rate that you get them, you know, but you could get hundreds of positive comments, great feedback, and then if there's that one dude, that one guy that just sticks it to you and gets you, that one comment can just like derail everything and bring you down, and it's horrible. But you can't let those people win, right? You can't let them win. It's like, let them hate, you know, let them hate, but just do whatever you can to where their feedback doesn't affect you, right? When it comes to your channel or it comes to like your mental health, like you have to find something, right? Or else it's going to make the whole journey so so irritating. Oh, Mitch, what's up, Mitch? How you doing, bro? Kevin, it's a sign that you're doing the right thing. Yeah, Kevin is fighting against he likes to call it the soy mind. I love talking to Kevin. Oh yeah, Kev, did your channel get monetized? Let me know if it got monetized. I can't remember if we talked about that. But yeah, Mitch, how you doing, brother? How's the poker? Let's see. Yeah, I've stopped for a couple months. Definitely difficult at first, but have tried to occupy my time with other hobbies. It's such a hole to get out of, though, especially when you think you want just one more bet. Because eventually, if you win, you want to win more, so you gamble more. Then if you lose, you try to chase the losses. It's a never one more. It always leads to more. It's hell. Yeah, that, in a nutshell, is so common, the chasing losses. It's crazy because when you play, and this is what used to happen to me a lot, you are, or at least for me, I was influenced by even numbers. For whatever reason, it was such a bizarre thing. Like, say if I was winning $485, right? Let's say I'm winning $485 at whatever, roulette or blackjack. That's great, right? You're winning like 5 bills. But I would keep playing, like, let's get it to 500, just so I could say, oh, I won 500. But the difference between 500 and 485, it's like, there's like no difference, right? So I'd always try to get to that next plateau. But then, of course, you lose. And then I go down from 485 down to 400. And then down to 350. And then I start losing. So even though I'm still up, like, then you start chasing. Then you're like, oh man, I was at 485. I can get back there. And then you chase it. And all of a sudden you're only up 100. And then you're down 100. Then you're down 400. Then you're down 1,000. And then it just keeps snowballing. And it's horrible. And I've seen this I've seen this everywhere. Everywhere I've went, doesn't matter what casino, what game, it's just, this is so prevalent. This like chasing of losses, and also this idea of just one more bet. You tell yourself, just one more, just gonna play one or two more bets, and then we'll go home, right? And your mind is playing tricks on yourself. You're convincing yourself, even though you know in the moment the action you're taking is so stupid, but you trick yourself into believing that you're just gonna stop after one more, even though you know deep down that you won't. And it's just like this. Oh, it's horrendous, man. It's horrible. I'm good. How about you? I'm all right, bro. Just been grinding away. Oh, you know what's it? Oh, actually, wait. Let me finish. Let me catch up with all the comments first. My backer is taking a break. I went plus $625, I guess. 3 hands over 2 hours last night and walked away. Yo, beast. Well, that's a good decision that so many people are unable to make. See, if that was me, if I was at 625, I'd want to be like, let's get it to 650, or let's get it to a nice 700, and then I would keep going. See, that was like, that's that stupidity, right? Is it healthy to drink 1 cup of organic grass-fed heavy cream a day? What's so random? Kev, that's so random. Are you on, what is that, Bulletproof coffee? Is that Bulletproof? Like that grass-fed butter cream stuff? Like the high fat? Is it healthy to drink? Wait, 1 cup? A whole cup of cream? I guess you're having multiple coffees. I don't know. It depends. I guess it depends. I drink some days I drink 4 coffees, but all of my coffees are black. I don't do any sugar or sweetener or cream or just pure black coffee. So I drink a lot of coffee. That's probably one thing that I do. I overdo caffeine for sure. But grass-fed cream. Maybe if it's if you're on a high fat diet, like a keto diet, where you aren't consuming a lot of carbs, so you're relying on fats for energy, then definitely it could be healthy. But also, I know a guy at work that was drinking an entire carton of cream a day because he drank so many coffees, and every coffee put a little bit of cream, and he was getting fat. Right? So it depends. It depends is the proper answer, I think. Yeah, 100% Derek. My last session, I was up at the casino about 470. Yo, that's that number, 470. So you want to get to 500, right? Then continued, lost it all, then lost another 400 on my own. Walked out like, WTF just happened, like your last video, in a trance. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's it's almost as if someone is inside your mind, taking the steering wheel of your decision making and just going. And that's what it feels like to me. It's like you're in this trance, you're in this haze. Everything is foggy, everything is kind of blurry. It's like this staticky noise, and you can't think. You just act. It's like you don't realize if you're standing or sitting. You don't realize where you are. You don't realize what time is it. You have no idea if you're hungry or thirsty or if you have to go to the washroom. There's none of that. You're immune to everything. Everything about being a human being, you are immune to. And you're in this bizarre trance where all you can think about is the bet, the game, the wager, the stakes, the money, the bet, the game, the wager, the stakes, the money. And it just cycles and cycles and cycles. And you're so focused in on it, whatever game you're playing. And it's like, man. And for whatever reason, you don't get out of that until you go the other way. Like you said, you're up 470, then all of a sudden now you're down 400. Then all of a sudden it's like that. You snap out of it and you're like, wait, what happened? We just went on an $870 swing. What's going on? And then all of a sudden that cloudiness sort of dissipates and you have a moment of clarity where you can make a rational decision. And then you realize, like, man, the past 10 minutes I was just like on autopilot, right? It's horrible. That's why when people say, "Oh, just don't go, just quit, just give up," and it's hard, man. It's not that easy for some people. It's so hard. Walking away is what it's about. Been there, Camille. Yeah, see, like Mitch, like if you have like the discipline, right? You got to have that discipline to make good decisions when you can. Yeah, I agree, Mitch, but legit was up after about 10 minutes of entering the casino, so thought I'd stay at least a little longer. Oh, dude, that's rough. You know, when you get there, you make the trip and you crush it like instantly. It's hard to leave because you're like, you just got there. Like, are you gonna leave? Maybe, like for me, it takes an hour and how long does it take? It takes an hour and a half, so 90 minutes for me to drive to the casino because there's none in Toronto. There's none in the city. You have to go like to the outskirts, or I have to drive to like Niagara Falls by New York. And so am I going to drive 90 minutes, play for 10 minutes, and then quit? And that's another thing that you try to rationalize with yourself. Like, oh man, we just got here. Let's keep playing. Do you still eat breakfast, Derek? What's your daily fasting routine like? So breakfast is usually no. This isn't strict though. Like say for example on the weekend, if my wife Tina decides to make like a super cool breakfast with, I don't know, maybe like pancakes or French toast with a bunch of berries and I don't know, something, right? Something like super cool. And you know, I'll eat with my kids, with my family. But aside from like a special occasion like that, usually my breakfast is black coffee. This 2 liter, this is like 2 liters. What's liters in ounces? I don't know the conversion rate for Americans. What is 2 liters? 32 ounce? Is that right? Does that sound right? I don't know. Anyways, it's black coffee, 2 liters of water, and then another black coffee. That's my breakfast on 99% of my days. And then on most days, I'll eat lunch at 2, which is my first meal of the day. No, 1:30, not 2, 1:30. And then I have dinner at like 8. So I eat 2 meals a day generally. And then there's some days where if I want to prolong the fast, and I'll say if it's like a 23-hour fast, I'll skip lunch. And usually the key for that is, you know, drinking more water, drinking more coffee to blunt my hunger, drinking a bunch of sparkling water. That's also great at blunting your hunger. So that's the way that I control my appetite. But yeah, breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. Wait, are you strict on fasting right now, Kev? What's your routine like? You know what else it is too, though? Not just like the energy benefits you get from fasting. It's sort of like the pleasure reward systems. It's sort of what I'm interested in. It's like, I don't think breakfast is natural. Like when you think about our ancestors, like hunter-gatherers or cave people or whoever, farmers, they didn't wake up and have a refrigerator that has a bunch of food in there, you know, orange juice in a bucket, cereal, and a bunch of milk. Like that's not really how we evolved. Usually you'd wake up, you go out and hunt all day, you bring the food back, cook it, and then you eat, you know, like dinner, like feast or famine, right? And so like I try to live my life by that sort of metric. And also just rewarding yourself. Like when I wake up in the morning, I haven't done anything. I'm going to reward myself with a giant bowl of Frosted Flakes and milk and like, I don't know, something like sugar, oranges, or I don't know. Like I feel like I got to do something. I got to earn my food, right? I got to earn it, do something. So that's just the way I feel. No shame if you enjoy breakfast though. Ouch, lost 37 pounds since February. Oh, dang, Mitch. That's crazy, bro. Has the job gotten better? Job, you mean my day job? My day job is the same. It's kind of what it is. It's not the best. but I don't hate it. I don't like absolutely dread it. So there's that. It's just, it's a means to an end, right? The day job will come to an end eventually. But dude, congrats on losing 37 pounds. Dude, that's serious. Yo, Red. What's up, Red? What's up, my California brother? How you doing, man? Hold on, let me catch up here. Let me see. Kevin, I usually don't eat breakfast unless it's a family event. Is it healthy to work out in the morning fasted and go like 5 more hours without eating? See, it like depends, right? It's like what is your definition of healthy? Like, do you think you're gonna go into starvation mode and die and have low blood glucose levels? And well, no, like you'll be fine. Right? Like you'll be fine. If you ever watch like that TV show Alone, there's dudes out there starving for like 50 days, like not catching any food, eating nothing, and they're still alive. Like you're not gonna die if you don't eat, right? Especially if you work out. But another thing too is if you ate dinner the day before, especially if you eat carbohydrates, like it's still going to be in your body. You can't burn it all off. You still have the glycogen in your liver, glucose in your body. Like you still have energy. And if you have like a gut, if you have any belly fat, you got stored energy on your belly. And every pound of body fat is 3,500 calories of energy. So you'll be fine. I feel like the healthy thing, it's like people, they can't deal with like the hunger pains, and sometimes they'll get a headache. And a big part of that is because you're doing something that's out of your routine, right? And most people, they give in, right? They don't like to feel that discomfort. So, but you'll be fine. Like I've done days where wake up, no breakfast, hit a workout, no lunch, go to work, right? So I've already worked out and ate nothing. Go to work where I'm lifting stuff, right? Like lifting airplane parts and engines, like up to like 85 pounds usually. Do that all day, come home at 7 p.m. I'm fine. Like it's sort of like, it's like in your head, I feel like. Thank you. I'm still fat. Got more to lose. Oh shit. Hey, dude, 37. That's dude, that's respectable, man. Just keep it up. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. Need belly fat gone below 200. Doing good, man. Been a pretty shitty month, not gonna lie, but gotta keep it moving. Hope you've been good too, bro. Hey, what's happened? What happened in July? What's going on, Red? Was work life, family life, or was it California life? Dude, I've been watching stuff on YouTube about it's not LA. What's that major city in California that has all the money? San Francisco. I've been watching these like documentaries about San Francisco and the homelessness and the poverty and the crime. And I saw this thing where people would park their cars and they'd go into a shop to go grocery shopping or whatever they had to do, and they would open their trunk and roll down all the windows in their car. And I was like what? Like what? Like I didn't understand. And they're talking about how if you leave your car locked, windows up, trunk closed, someone's probably going to smash your window and get into your car and steal something. But if you pop the trunk, roll down your windows, and leave everything unlocked, then no one is going to try to steal anything because everything is open. So you obviously have no valuables. And I was like, is that what San Fran is coming to? I was like, dang, that's crazy. Obviously, that's like an extreme case. I'm sure there's tons of other parts of San Fran that's perfectly fine and wonderful. But just, I'd never heard a story like that before. I'm like, geez, like what is going on? So, I don't know. Camera looking crisp right now. Oh, is it really? How's the quality of the stream? Is it good? Still got a ways to go. Once my bro gets free, he's locked up. In a few days, we're making entrepreneurial moves, so that could be cool. Finna hit the poker tables again. Fentanyl Town, USA. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Fentanyl? That's a lot of fentanyl in San Fran? Man, that's scary. Yikes. Doggone 28. Hey Derek, I just want to say thank you so much for what you do. I'm not a gambler myself, but I know that you've helped my friend immensely. Yo, doggone. What's up, man? That's great to hear. You know what? That is one of the most rewarding things about YouTube. Is just making a difference in someone's life. It sounds so cheesy and corny and cliche. Oh, you made a difference in someone's life. No, it's really meaningful. Like I met a guy last month, like while I was working, and he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, are you Derek? You make YouTube videos?" And I was like, "Oh no, here we go." I'm like, yeah, hey, what's up?" And then he talked to me like how he was struggling with a gambling problem, and that my videos helped him, and he was going to gambling anonymous meetings. Like he went to meetings, right, to work on it. So yeah, it was awesome. Like this type of stuff is great. But I'm glad to hear that your friend is benefited from them. I always love hearing that. Now just dealing with internal stuff and trying to find a new job. Usual self-improvement setbacks. Oh, okay, I see. Get that job hunting going, bro. There's always something better. There's always something better out there. It's funny. I applied for a bunch of jobs, but when you have no college or university education or no clear profession, and you make YouTube videos talking about gambling addiction and doing psychedelic mushrooms, corporate America is generally not interested. So I've tried in the past, kind of switching it up from my career position, and nothing ever worked, which is fine. So it's hilarious though, because I could probably crush a Zoom interview because I stream and make YouTube videos all the time and do podcasts, right? That'd probably be so easy. We're both college students who really don't have money to lose, and I am confident that without you, he would be in a much worse place. Oh, dang. Yo, have your friend reach out to me. Have him email me or something. I'd love to chat. Have him, if he wants, of course, if he wants. Have him shoot me an email. It's just my full name at Gmail, derekbearsy@gmail.com. I love hearing feedback from people. Even just, I would just love an update. How is he doing? What was the game he played? What were the stakes? Like, why did he want to gamble? Why did he get into it? What's the temptation? Is he still doing it? Like, all that stuff interests me, right? So if he emails me, I'll gladly email him back. You got this, Red. Let me know if you want to. What's that? Talk, I guess. TSL talk. San Fran douche. Oh, San Fran doucheco. Wait, isn't there Oh yeah, there's a documentary I wanted to watch called San Francisco. Sicko? Is that it? San Fran. I gotta search this up. Sicko. Is that? I think that's what it's called. Oh no, it's a book by Michael Schellenberger. San Francisco. Someone recommended me this book that I should read it. Jeez, the synopsis. Why progressives ruin cities. Oh, okay. Okay, I can't talk about that. I don't want to get banned. Job market is so trash right now. Bless, I still got my current one though. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's good. You know, it's good that you are grateful that you have a job. Even like at my, whatever courier job, they sort of stopped hiring, right? They sort of closed the doors because everyone's scared of a recession, right? Everyone's trying to cut costs. Inflation is high. Wages are low. It's crazy out there. So yeah, at least this, you could be like so many other people who are much worse, right? But it's hard to be grateful for what you have when you're looking for better. You know what I mean? It's tough to have gratitude for what you currently have because you get used to everything, right? So I try my best to have that perspective as well, and also the day job, it's there until I figure the rest of this stuff out, and hopefully we can make make more revenue in the future. Oh, you know what's funny? Like, I gotta tell you guys something crazy. So yesterday's video. So I don't know if all you guys watched it. Why is my arm itchy? A mosquito bite? I got like a mosquito bite or something. So yesterday I posted a video called "I'm Still Addicted to Gambling," and I am. I love it still, even after 10 years. And so I made this video yesterday, and I talked about the World Series of Poker and blah 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 blah, all this stuff. And you know what happened? That video got flagged and demonetized, and that got flagged, and a bunch of my other content I think it was like 11 videos on my channel got flagged. I got this message from YouTube, and all this stuff was flagged for to be demonetized, right? I'm like, okay, so like, what's going on? And so I went through the video. I'm like, did I cuss? Did I swear? Did I make fun of some type of government or ideology? Did I say anything offensive or controversial? And it's like, no, it's just me sharing my story about how I struggle with my addiction to poker. So I don't think there's anything controversial or negative about that. And so I sent in a request to get the video reviewed. I'm like, I wanted, what's the reasoning, YouTube? Like, what was the reasoning for like demonetizing this thing? And they said that your video, it's not suitable for advertisers. And I'm like, who are the advertisers? Gambling websites? Gambling casinos? Sports betting apps? Is that who my video isn't suitable for to advertise on? I'm like, that's unbelievable, man. Like, I'm trying to help people with this problem, right? But obviously you have, there's ads on YouTube like FanDuel, DraftKings, this sports betting, Bet365, this online casino. And I'm like, my stuff is demonetized because that's not suitable for advertisers? I'm like, I'm like, all right. So I was pissed, not because of the money. Like, look at the video, right? It has what? 329 views. It's probably going to make like $2 or $3, right? So it's not like it's not like I was mad about the money. I was so upset about the message. Like, this is what we're trying to fight against. This advertisement of getting people addicted to casinos, getting them addicted to gambling. Oh, here's a deposit bonus. Try FanDuel tonight. Bet on the Laker game. Or here's DraftKings. Bet on the UFC fights. We'll give you a free $50 if you sign up. Like, this is crazy. This is what sucks people in and ruins their lives. And I can't criticize that. That's ridiculous. That is so beyond stupid. That's like if you had an Alcoholics Anonymous channel, but then there's some beer company that wants to run ads about their new light beer. Oh, it's a conflict. The advertiser doesn't want to run ads on this, or it's not suitable for our advertisers. So I was livid. I was livid yesterday. I got on my community tab and I was like raging. I was typing all this like craziness. And I was going to post this wild message. And then I do what I always do. Before I post anything, I sort of stop. I clear my mind, and I'm like, I'm like so emotional right now. I'm so triggered. I was legit triggered, and I'm going to like send out this message of like hate and anger into my community tab. And so, you know, I thought better. I'm like, no, this is not worth it. You'll let it go. Just let it go. So I deleted it. I didn't post it. And then I sort of like got away from my computer. I sat down on my couch over there, and I just sort of like relaxed. And I'm still monetized, demonetized. I don't care. Whatever it is, I'm still gonna just keep making my content. Doesn't matter to me. So what? I get a few less bucks, right? It's fine. So the worst thing is if I let that affect me, if I let that discourage me from making content, because I know people like that, right? They're gonna think, I put all this effort, time, and energy into making these videos, right? Recording them, filming them, editing them, posting them, putting description, title, making a thumbnail, all this work that goes into a YouTube video. And then it's not going to make any money. I'm not going to get any incentive for it. So then why should I make this content? Just like, why should I do this work? I know a lot of people that think that way, where I'm just like, no, I'm going to keep going. And then I looked at the other list of videos, and they actually made sense. Like there was like 11 videos that got demonetized, and the other 10, they're all about like the psychedelic mushroom ones, where I was like eating mushrooms on stream and shit. So all of those videos, I'm like, okay, I get it. That's fair. Fair game. No problem. I didn't dispute any of those. I'm like, okay, that's fair. I'm a pretty fair person, right? And so I kind of got a laugh out of that. But the demonetization of an anti-gambling video, that just like drove me nuts. I saw it. It was a good video. That's crazy. Shake my head. Right? Isn't that? That's wild, right? Isn't that wild? It's interesting though. You can kind of request for YouTube to review the video. So I think it takes up to like 2 weeks where they'll get someone to rewatch or watch the whole video and then kind of review it. So I requested a ticket to get it reviewed. So I have no idea. Maybe YouTube will revoke it, or I don't know. Maybe they'll put the monetization status back. Who knows? But I'm just hoping that this doesn't continue, because it will what's the word? What's the opposite of persuade? Is there an opposite of persuade? Dismay? Is that right? What's the opposite of the word persuade? Anyways, well, whatever that word is, let's use disincentivize. It's going to disincentivize other YouTube creators who might be in the anti-gambling niche that want to share their story, right? Maybe they want to share their story and kind of get into this whole sort of stuff that I do, but then they're going to see they get demonetized, so then maybe they'll quit and they'll stop making videos, and maybe that channel could be one of the biggest anti-gambling channels on YouTube, because it's not going to be me, because this is only half of what I do, right? It's just a part of my full story. I still love all the psychedelic self-improvement stuff, right? So this is only like a portion. My channel is never going to be 100% about just poker and gambling. It's a part of me. It's a big part of what I do, but it won't be everything. But maybe there is someone that could make the best anti-gambling channel in the world, but if he gets demonetized, it might stop him from making it, right? So that's what I'm worried about. Yo, R. What's up, R? Do you think it's okay to gamble controllably instead of quitting completely? That's interesting. So that definitely depends on the person, right? It definitely depends on the person, the situation, the stakes, the money. Like, there's so many factors that go into that. For example, for me, I do gamble, with like my dad or my brother or my parents, but it's like we'll play a game of dominoes for $5 at Thanksgiving. I'll play a game of poker for $10 with my brother and dad at Christmas. Like, that's the type of gambling I do now. And it's at a point where it's controllable. I can control it. I can easily just stop and say no. So I can, in a sense, gamble controllably, gamble responsibly in a controlled environment. But again, it depends on the person. Could I gamble responsibly in a controlled way by going to the casino? Well, probably not. Could I do it responsibly if I had FanDuel on my phone? Probably not. So I think it depends on the circumstance, right? And for some people, some like super obsessive compulsive people, it's better to just cut it all off completely. I swear the universe can be against you/us sometimes for no reason. Discourage. Okay, yes. My brain, I'm like, vocabulary? That happens sometimes. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I try not to let it get me down. I'm still grateful we have this channel. I'm grateful for this community. I'm grateful for the growth. The growth has been interesting. I had a couple of emails. Someone emailed me. They wanted me to be on their show about some type of gambling show. I don't know. And I got a couple other emails from other gambling channels that want to sort of collaborate. So, it's cool. There's all these opportunities that are coming from all this stuff. But yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes it's like things just don't work out. That's life, right? That's life. Like when I think about like the economy, right? I think about interest rates. I think about inflation, gas price, cost of living. Like, man, like our mortgage is, I'm just like getting decimated. Mortgage was like, I don't know, $2,800. Now it's like over $4,300. It's just getting destroyed. So I'm just like got like no money, pinching pennies. Why can't I talk? Pinching pennies. Yeah, so it's like, adversity, but that's life, right? That's life. That's what it is. Everyone is going through something. Everyone has something going on, some issue. So, but again, it's like you have to find a way to, keep moving forward, keep the right mindset, stay positive, keep working, stay grinding, keep going, right? So, is your mortgage fixed? No, it's a variable. So so mortgages in Canada are different than the US, right? So our terms are usually 5 years. It renews every 5 years. So I signed a 30-year mortgage where the term is a 5-year variable. And then after 5, I can pick again, fixed, variable, whatever. It's kind of like that. So, yeah, it's what it is. It's what it is. Yeah, home ownership, it's like I have a love-hate relationship with it. In one sense, I love it because this was my biggest dream for, I can't remember how many years. Just like buy a house where I could raise my 2 kids, where they could have their own room, they could have a backyard to play in, we could build some memories, right? It doesn't have to be a massive house. Like I bought half of a house. It's this semi. So like my house is connected to another guy and our driveways are shared. So it's not even a fully detached home. It's a semi-detached home. But it's big enough where like I got this. I got all this. I got this huge basement in this corner down here. Got my TV, couch, basketball net, this other bed, my desk. Life's good. Life's good. It's like that, like being grateful for what you have. I am incredibly thankful and fortunate, to at least have a place that is somewhat my own, even though the bank owns the vast majority of it, right? But still, You know, I'm grateful because now I have this sanctuary where I can just do this work that I love, and it makes me so happy every day, just like waking up and coming down here. So, oh, cowboy, what's up, cowboy? Jiggly neck in the house. Oh, shit. Jiggly neck. Yo, jiggly neck. What's up, bro? Jiggly neck. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, Red, how do you remember that? That's hilarious. Jiggly neck. That's the first thing you say. Jiggly. Jiggly neck in the house. Oh. Oh, man. So what's going on, Jiggly neck? I got pre-approved for a house, but I still got to work on my credit. Jiggly all the way. Hey, congrats, bro. You got approved on a house? That's amazing. Good for you. Still got to work on my credit. Hey, you know, work in progress, right? Pay off those credit card bills, line of credit, whatever debt you have. Get rid of all that stuff. Yeah, and then stay jiggly with it. Jiggly all the way. Dude, I should keep this stream as a motivation to check in on my weight. Oh, man. You guys are funny. I'm going to need to drink to that. I'm going to need to drink something. Let's see. Oh, we got... hold on. A bunch of drinks here. I have a tropical fruit cannabis. How many milligrams is this? How come it doesn't say the THC? 10. Okay, so let's crack this in celebration. You see this? I don't know if you can see that. Let's crack this in celebration of Mr. Cowboy and his jiggly neck. For a $150,000 house at 6% interest rate, came up to like $14.29 a month, but that's all a rough estimate from the bank. Oh, dude, that's like, bro, that's super reasonable. $120,000 home? Wait, where do you live again, Cowboy? You live in the U.S.? I can't remember. I think you told us before, or you told me. I'm going to assume you're American, because there's nowhere in Canada you can buy a house for $150,000. Yeah, 6% interest. That's like the killer, right? Sunday jiggly reminder. Sunday jiggly. Was there a live last Sunday? Oh, live stream? Oh, no. So last week or the week before, I was busy. It was Lincoln's birthday, my son. He just turned 1. So we had people over. We had a celebration, a party. You rented a park. Yeah, it was good times. And then I think I went up north too to visit my parents. Yeah, so last week there was no stream. But dude, man, that's a super reasonable mortgage. That's awesome. $14.25 a month, and then does that include property tax or not? Because some places, some people include their property tax in their mortgage, right? Okay, let's try this tropical THC. Smells like raspberry. All right. Drinking to you, cowboy, and your jiggly neck. FN, what's that? FNOH? What does that mean? Is that an acronym? Is that the periodic table? FN. Ohio is one of the 7. Oh, like from Ohio? or FN, is that like a city? Ohio is one of the 7 wonders of the world. I see those Instagram reels sometimes, and the caption is always like only in Ohio, and it's like some chaos going on. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, that's good, man. Hey, is it a detached home? Like, are you connected to anybody? Because 150,000, that's amazing. Steve L. Yo, Steve L. What's up, dude? What's the average cost home in Toronto? Depends. Like 1.5 million, probably. Like, yeah, dude, it's bad. It's somewhere in the 1.5 million. Like, here the price of real estate is so crazy. It is unbelievable. Like on my street, like if I wanted to get a detached home, like we're talking about detached with a 2-car garage, right? 4 bedrooms, I don't know, 3 bathrooms, like detached backyard. Probably $2 million. And a property tax of like $8,000. It's like $700 a month. Like that's the prices here. And I don't even live in Toronto. Like I live in the suburbs. I live outside of the city. Right? So it's a little bit cheaper. Like cheaper. Yo, Lee, what's up, Lee? Yeah, see, exactly, 1.5 million. Yeah, Lee knows what's up. Oh, he's in Toronto. Yeah, it's about like 1.5 million. It's ridiculous. The only thing that's affordable is like a condo, like a box in the sky, right? They got Nephilim in Ohio. Nephilim? Oh, shit. 1.5 million and still going up. Yeah. See, I see Lee knows. Lee knows what's up. What's the average salary? Oh, that's a good question. Let's Google that. What is the average salary in Toronto? Man, all these numbers seem so off. 75,000? Oh, there's average household income. That's probably more reasonable. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm probably going to have a mortgage my entire life. I don't think I'll ever pay off my mortgage. There's just no way. Zachary Johnson, what's up, dude? Was it hard to quit gambling at first? Yes. So when I first decided to quit, it was in 2012, and I was like, I'm done. I quit, and then I went and found a job. But it wasn't until 2013, a whole year later, that I finally was able to quit. Because even though I went and got a normal day job, and I sort of quit going to the casino, I quit taking the bus there, I quit everything, I'd still like play on Saturday, play for an hour or two after work, and I couldn't let it go. And so yeah, it wasn't until a whole year later that I finally quit, and it was hard. It was tough. Because before that, I had gambled like for 9 years straight, right? And think about, what's that saying? Old habits die hard, right? You have this routine. You have this structure in your life where you're comfortable, right? So yeah, it was tough, dude. Young and Finch. Yo, Young and Finch. My neighbor sold for 3.2 million. Yo, Lee, I'm not too far from you, bro. I live near Wonderland. I live near Canada's one and only amusement theme park. So 1.5 million Canadian. Oh yeah, that's another thing too, is the exchange rate, right? Because the Canadian dollar is worth so much less than the U.S. dollar, right? I think the exchange rate is 1.35, 1.33, something like that. It is best to be self-employed. That's crazy. Yeah, cowboy. That's see the biggest issue here in Canada too. It's like we can't build homes fast enough to keep up with increase in population, because Canada is a country where immigrants come to. I'm an immigrant. I come from Japanese, Italian, Austrian immigrants. Like that's I'm part of that, right? And so the rate at which people come here, it outnumbers the rate at which we can build homes. So that's why like our house prices are like going to stay inflated for a long time, because there is so much demand and there's such limited supply. Like when I bought this house that I'm in right now, I bought it last year, right? It took me 8 months. I must have seen 50 different homes. We put in like 20 offers. And we'd put in an offer and there'd be like 34 other offers we'd have to compete with. We were writing letters to the homeowners with my picture of me and my wife and my daughter and our dog. We send them like a letter about who we are. We want to move to this city. We want to buy a home to start our family, to raise our daughter. And like it was crazy. You got to outbid like 30 other people. It took me 8 months, and then we finally got this. And yeah, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Do you think online poker sites are rigged? That's an interesting question, because it's been proven on more than one occasion to have been rigged. I don't think independently every single online poker site is rigged, but there is the ultimate bet scandal, right? Full tilt poker scandal, where there were super users, where there was like employees within the company in Ultimate Bet that were manipulating the cards. So yeah, it's possible. It's definitely possible, and it's happened before, right? But do I believe in an absolute sense that every single poker site is rigged? Probably not. I'll live in a damn car. Cowboy. I am leaving Canada. Socialist, communist, high taxes, cold weather. Daniel Negreanu is from Toronto. Oh, I saw Daniel Negreanu once. You know what's funny? When I think back of like poker players I've played against, I've played with Chris Moneymaker, David Benjamin, Chris Money. There's a couple other well-known players I played against. I can't remember their names. But anyways, there was one time that Daniel was playing at a table adjacent to mine. So like I was like, oh man. But the thing that's crazy about Daniel is like he has this mystique, this allure to him, where everyone notices Daniel when he's in the poker room. Not just me because I'm Canadian, but like Daniel is this like super extroverted, talkative, fun, interesting dude. And whenever he was like in the poker room, everyone's like, oh, hey Daniel. All these like fanboys like, oh, can I get a picture? How you doing? Talking to him. They're just like crowding him. And I'm like, oh God. Obviously I wanted like to go say hi, but I'm like, I'm not gonna bother. It's probably like so annoying, right? But yeah, that guy's awesome. Did you go to support groups when quitting gambling, or did you do it on your own? Okay, so the vast majority I did on my own. I did search for help before. Like I looked up, hotlines, and I read forums. I never went to any like in-person coaching or classes or groups, nothing like that. But I did an extensive amount of searching, learning about dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, epinephrine, like hormones, and what controls our addiction and the way we think. And I kind of went down that route and tried to figure out a way to fix the addiction myself. But again, I never fixed it. But yeah, I kind of sort of did it all on my own. And just by like going through my own research, that's when I kind of stumbled into like this mental health solution that I think is the key, where everyone talks about change your friend group, live far from the casino, self-exclude yourself, get an app that bans your phone from downloading, like, all those tricks and methods that people use to stop gambling. Sure, they work, but eventually they're all going to wear out. And those are only external solutions, whereas a gambling addiction is an internal problem. So I think the true solution to fix a gambling addiction is you have to fix what's on the inside. The self-exclusion, the apps that prevent your phone from downloading stuff, the friend groups, like that can't stop you because you're still addicted at the core, right? So that's when I kind of did a deep dive into the whole mental health stuff and trying to figure out, how do I make strong decisions? How do I fight the urges of dopamine, right? So that's sort of what I did. It took me a long time. Say hi to Matthew. Is Canadian. Rich Chinese are bringing their money. Say hi to Matthew. What's up, Matthew? If they would pay me good, I'll build them a house. It may not have electric or plumbing, but you can sleep in it. That's funny. Cowboy, you're a wild dude. All casino action is Canadian. Sarah? What's that? From Sarah? All casino action is Canadian. Daniel Negreanu. Yeah, Daniel Negreanu is interesting. Did you bluff Daniel Negreanu and Chris Moneymaker? Okay, so Daniel, I never got to play with him. He was at the table near mine. Played with Chris Moneymaker. He was, how do I say this in a nice way? He's all right. He didn't seem very like impressive. Like he was an accountant, right? He was an amateur who won the main event and started the whole poker boom. And I played with him in, where was I? I think I was playing in the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure in Nassau. Nassau. What's the place called? The Bahamas. I was in the Bahamas playing in a poker tournament. He was there at my table. And again, it's like people asking for autographs. It's like so weird. But then his play was just like, it was like whatever. But it was like playing with David Benjamin, that French guy. Oh my gosh. He sat on my left and he just like abused me. When I played with that guy, I was so impressed. Like he was at a level, many levels above me, and he just absolutely destroyed me. He was like talking to me. One time he bluffed me. He was like, he showed me his card. Like that guy was a master. Yeah, David Benjamin. I don't know if he was like big. He's probably still big now, but he's a really good poker player from France. He was like on the World Poker Tour and World Series of Poker on TV before, I think. I played Dana White. UFC. The UFC president. Dana White likes playing blackjack at Red Rock. Oh, man. Oh yeah, I've heard about that. In Rogan's podcast, he talks a lot about how Dana White, he always gambles, and he gambles for like millions of dollars. So blackjack is his game then, right? Gambling addiction can't be fixed, sadly. Society has made gambling glamorous. Yeah, see, that's a big thing. I sort of made a mistake. I have an old video called How I Overcame My Gambling Addiction. And it's kind of not true because I still have it. So I never completely overcame it. I just found a way to live with it is probably like a better title for that video. But yeah, it's here, man. Even after like 10 years. It's been 10 years, dude. Since 2013. 2013. And like, if we get the itch, like I have my poker chips right here. I have these stupid poker chips right at my desk, you know? And then I'm always like playing with them like this. I don't know if you can see this. Like these like poker chip tricks. And not only do I have an addiction, like at my core, I have a physical addiction. Like when I'm at my computer, if I don't have like a stack of poker chips to touch and play with and shuffle while I'm doing my work, I get like this slight level of anxiety. It's like what are those things that people spin? Fidget spinners? You know how people have like physical addictions to things, like smokers? You know how smokers always want to like have something in between their fingers or something in their mouth, so they have like a lollipop or whatever. So yeah, I have like a physical addiction to this stuff, dude. I can't get away from this. I've had this stupid stack, these 12 blue poker chips at my desk at every single place I've lived in for the past like 20 years. And these are all old. Like, see, it's all, I don't know if you can see it, but it's all like broken. You can see the metal inside. It's messed up. Society, this stream is sponsored by DraftKings Canada. Oh, dude. It's so bad. Yeah, I played on DraftKings. Man, the first time I started DraftKings, I deposited like $500 and they had like a $500 deposit bonus. Like the second or third day I played, like the very first week that I was playing, I came like second place in a tournament for like an NBA slate, and I won like $3,000 or $4,000 or something. So I went from never trying sports betting to depositing $500 one day, and in that same week winning like $4,000. And then I had this like irrational confidence that I knew what I was doing, or that I was some type of professional sports bettor, because I know basketball. I've watched the NBA my whole life. You know, I used to coach. I used to be a paid referee for 10-year-olds. I used to ref 10-year-old games at a college. I used to go to like basketball camp. Like I had NBA NFTs. Like I do everything basketball. I know the NBA. And so like I play on DraftKings, win a ton of money. And then all of a sudden I'm off to the races. And it's betting on every game, every slate, every night. And that was so crazy too. Luckily I cashed out a couple of years without like ruining myself. You should do poker chip ASMR. That's funny. That's so, you know those YouTube channels that are just ASMR of like people cooking, or like the woodworking ones or someone is like doing carpentry work? Those YouTube channels have like crazy amount of subscribers. But how does that work though? Because do you actually watch the video? Or is it just for audio? Like, I don't follow any channels like that, so I don't understand the appeal of the whole ASMR stuff. Have you played Phil Ivey? Oh, no. I never played with Phil Ivey, and I never saw him in person. Sucks. That was one guy I always wish I would have met, because he's the best, right? That guy's the best. Yeah, I never saw him, met him, or anything like that. What's the sickest hero call you ever made in your poker career? And what about the sickest hero fold? Oh man, that is tough, dude. That's tough. Man, I'd have to think. I'd have to think way back. Sickest hero call and sickest hero fold. Dang, you put me on the spot. It's been so long that I probably can't even remember the details. There's definitely been times where I folded king pre-flop to aces, but that's nothing spectacular. That's not like a superhero fold. Okay, let me think about that. If I can recall any hands, I'll get back to you, Zach. Doyle Brunson dead at age 89. Oh man, I had his books. I had Doyle Brunson's books. I had the Super System, and I had the Super System 2. Win is the best place for poker. I did not know Mike Sexton has... Yo, Mike Sexton passed too? What? I didn't know that. Really? He was the host of like the World Poker Tour, right? Wow, Mike Sexton, he passed away in 2020. September 2020. He was 72. What? Oh man, he had prostate cancer. Dang. That's terrible. Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow. MFers just like hearing sounds of random shit. Humans are weird. Oh, you know what? I guess, does this qualify for ASMR? You know those videos where, what do you call it? Bushcraft? Where there'll be like a dude, he'll like go out into the wilderness and he'll kind of like build a shelter out of like trees and mud and clay and moss and camp into the shelter he made like over the night. Like those YouTube videos like that. There's no talking. There's just like sounds of like the dude digging and cutting trees. Like that's ASMR too, right? Yeah, it has to be. So I guess I do watch some ASMR stuff. But that it's not the sounds that interest me though. It's the visuals of the guy cutting down the tree and then turning the log into, I don't know, a bunch of walls and building this like teepee and then using the moss and grass to fill in the spaces in between the logs to insulate it. And then he gets like these leaves and makes like a bed and gets rocks and makes like a clay fern. Like that's what interests me. It's not the sounds. It's like all the stuff they're doing. So I guess that's the closest to an ASMR channel that I watch. My friend won $100,000 in online poker tournament. What do you think of Poker Stars? I loved Poker Stars. So I played on Poker Stars for super long. They sponsored me 1 year for the was it 2009 when I played in the World Series of Poker. I had one of those. I used my my player points or something to get one of those Poker Stars sponsorships where they paid the buy-in for the main event. They paid. What did they pay for? They paid for my flight, my hotel, the buy-in for the main event, and then they gave me this duffel bag, and it was like 7 days worth of like clothes. So I guess part of the agreement was I had to wear like a Poker Stars t-shirt and hat whenever I would play at the table. So I had that 1 year. So yeah, Poker Stars was like my main website that I played on. I used to play in the Sunday. It was called like the Super Sunday, $215 buy-in tournament on Sundays. I used to play in that every single week. I have like old screenshots of that tournament when I was like the chip leader. Let me see. Can I find that? Oh man, I know I have that somewhere on my computer. Where would I have that picture saved though? I remember I had a picture where it was like way back. Oh, I found it. I found it. This is so funny. How do I show this on the screen? Can I show this somehow? This is such a funny okay, I suck with OBS. You have to give me a minute. How do I add an image here? Image. Hopefully this doesn't screw up the stream. Okay, let me see. Give me a moment here. This is so funny. I can't believe I found this picture. Why did I even take a screenshot of this? Because I didn't win this tournament. This. Can you guys see this? Can you see this? Is this on stream? Look at this stupid screenshot I had. Oh, I think it is on stream. Make this bigger. Yeah, so this was me. This was my Poker Stars account name. This was the $215 Sunday Million. July, I don't know what year this was. This is many years ago. So we were 7 hours in. And out of 4,400 people, there was only 150 left, and I was in first. So I had the chip lead for this tournament. First place was 158,000. Yeah, that's so funny. So that's probably the best. Well, I can't remember where I finished. How do I move this? I think I came like 20th or 30th or something. I made like only a couple $1,000. So yeah, I have all these like bizarre. Why do we even have these screenshots? That's so funny. See, that's how obsessed I used to be. I used to take a screenshot of my chip count when the tournament wasn't even over, when I didn't even win any money. I was still like taking pictures of stuff. That's how much of a loser I was. Are you thinking about writing a book about how you overcame your gambling addiction? That's interesting. So I've thought about that before. I started a self-improvement book that I've slowly been writing, but the more I think about it, I'm probably going to do like maybe some type of online course, but I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to finish. I'm definitely going to do something. Like right now I have like the one-on-one coaching call thing that's there, but I want to have like a higher level form of gambling support. Like I tell people all the time, like you don't need to pay for anything. You can watch the YouTube videos that I have for free. If that helps, great. If it doesn't, come to this live stream. Live stream is free. You can ask me whatever question you want and I'll answer all of it. So like you don't need to pay for this type of information. I will gladly give it away for free. I also have like a newsletter, again, free, all free. But I know there's some people that even if you give them all the best information, you tell them all the right stuff, they just won't do anything with it. You know, some people are wired differently where they need like more like emotional support or maybe like a guide like with like step-by-step instructions on what to do. So maybe if I'm going to do like the one-on-one coaching in like a course or a book, I want to make sure that the information that's in there, it needs to be worth it. It needs to be impactful. It needs to really help. So yeah, so maybe in the future, but we'll see. It's probably going to take me a while because I work on so many things all at the same time. Poker Vlogs, Andrew Nemi. He is good. John Jawanda. I remember John Jawanda. Phil Hellmuth is a crybaby. Phil Hellmuth. Oh, God. Phil Hellmuth is so cringe. That guy is so cringy. Whenever you're someone who makes a self-proclamation that you're the greatest poker player of all time, or you're the GOAT, like whenever you say like, oh, I'm the GOAT in anything, because he has like what, 15, 16, 17 World Series of Poker bracelets, and the guy's like, oh, I'm the best poker player ever. Well, all that really means is you have the most World Series of Poker bracelets ever. That doesn't mean you're the best poker player. You know, that title is probably reserved for Phil Ivey, but I think I actually think Phil Hellmuth is good for like the poker ecosystem. He's good for television. He's entertaining. You know, he brings amateurs into the game. You know, people love to play with pots with that guy. I wish I played against him. Yeah, never met or saw Phil Hellmuth either. Oh, Vanessa Selps. I remember that chick. Yo, she's aggressive. The only thing that's unfortunate about Vanessa is that I think a lot of her clips on YouTube are of her like doing these crazy bluffs that go catastrophically wrong. So I feel like a lot of her poor moments gets clipped out and not taken out of context because it is in context. But it's like it's a little unfair how the biggest clips of her is like doing these like crazy bluffs that just go wrong and she busts and she gets pissed or she loses money, and I guess that's entertaining, but she is an amazing player, right? But then, you know, those clips I guess are not as, they don't go as viral or they aren't as interesting. So Vanessa loves to bluff. Yeah, exactly, right? Vanessa loves to bluff. Yeah, the poker days. I miss the poker days. Do I have? Can I answer Zach's question? Do I have any great hero calls or hero folds? Man, it's been too long. You know, if I have a couple vague hands or stories in my mind, but I feel like I'm missing the details. I feel like I'd just be making up half of it. So yeah, I wish I could have answered your question, Zach. If this was 2018 Derek, I'm sure I'd have a plethora of bad beat stories, hero calls, hero folds, like. But I've kind of like erased all that stuff from my mind, I think. Oh, how about this, Zach? I remember perfectly the very last hand I played in a casino in 2012. I remember because um, this was the last time I went to the casino. This was the last session I ever played in the casino, and it was the last hand in like ever since even up until today. Like I have stepped into a casino, and so um, I think I was playing. I can't remember was it 2-5. I was either playing 2-5 no limit hold'em, so the blinds are 2 and 5. Yeah, 2-5 no limit hold'em, and I think I had like $1,000, so I was like 200 big blinds deep. I was playing, I was doing well, and I remember this was around the time where I was considering quitting because things were drying up. The whole online space was kind of weird. I wasn't in love with the game anymore. Like there's all this stuff going on. I'm like, man, this isn't working for me. I gotta stop. I gotta quit. But I was having this one like half decent session, so I was winning like $500. And I remember I got Ace King under the gun. So first act, I called this super rich tight dude that likes to talk smack. He raised, everyone else folded. I did a move I don't normally do, which is I limp re-raised. So I just called and waited for him to raise, and I re-raised him. And this was with Ace King. And then, so I 3-bet. And then I think he 4-bet me. He re-raised again. And then I called. And then something happened, like the flop came like nothing. It was like 8-4-2. It was like garbage. I just had ace high. But for whatever reason, I tried to represent that I had 2 kings or 2 aces because I was in the very first seat. I was first to act, right? So normally in poker, someone who limps in under the gun, someone who limps in, who just calls in first position, and then 3 bets out of there when someone raises them, that is like a tail old strategy for pocket aces and pocket kings. And so I guess I tried to get that in his head. And so I played the hand as if I had aces or kings. And so I can't remember what happened. He bet when I raised on the flop, and I ended up pushing all in, right? Just like to make him fold, and then he called. And I have ace king. The flop is like 8-4-2, and he has pocket aces. And I'm like, okay, it's great. I'm so dumb. I just blew $1,000 with ace high, no pair, no draw, nothing. Just I don't know what I was doing. A stupid bluff. Turn king, river king, and I make a runner trip kings, and I win this $200 pot roughly. And I remember I was like so embarrassed at how I played so bad, and I got so ridiculously lucky. That's like a 1% shot running kings for ace king to beat 2 aces. And he was livid. He started like cussing me out. He was like talking smack. And I kept playing for another hour while he's just like berating me. He's like talking shit to me. And then I started like snapping back at him. And I was like chirping him too. I'm like, yeah, buddy, your chips feel good in my stack. Like I was just being a dick, right? And then eventually I was like, man, not only is this poker stuff not working, you know, it seems like things aren't going well. I was thinking about quitting. Obviously, I'm playing poorly. I just played this massive pot, and I made like a dumb bluff. and I got super lucky and I got 2 grand, right? 2 grand in a bit. Maybe this is a great opportunity to just take this money and run and just never go back. And I remember I sat out a couple hands and I was like contemplating that in my mind as I was sitting at the poker table. I'm like, yeah, let's just get out of here. You know, like this, I have to like drop my ego, and like this business I'm trying to pursue as a career is not working. So I got up, cashed in my stack, and that was the last poker hand I ever played. And that was 2012 at a 2-5 no limit game. Yeah. So that's one hand I do remember because it was very embarrassing. Jennifer Tilly is very beautiful. Oh yeah, Jennifer Tilly played poker. She was the actress too, right? Christopher Mitchell is a scam? Who's that? I don't know who that is. Christopher Mitchell? I don't know who that is. Why did you give up poker? Can't you just play for recreation or for $5 buy-in tourneys for fun? Okay, yeah, so like yes and no. So I do play for fun recreationally with like my friends or my brother or my dad, right? Like we'll play like home games for fun, like $5-10. But when it comes to like the casino, I completely stopped because a big part of my downfall, it wasn't just that poker was bad. I sort of started to venture off a little bit, especially to roulette and a couple other table games I'd play from time to time. I got this stupid habit of I play poker for like 10 hours, right? And then before I'd cash out at the poker table, get all my money, all my chips, change into cash, and I would go to catch the bus home. But every night before leaving, I would always keep back a green chip. And over here, a green chip is a $25 chip. I'd walk over to the roulette table, put it on my favorite number, which is 4, and let it ride. And a single number on roulette pays 35 to 1. So like, you know, a $25 green chip will get you like $700 or so, right? Is that right? 700-ish, maybe more, 800. I don't know. Whatever the math is. And I remember like the 4th or 5th time I did this, it hit. And then I found myself at the roulette table an equal amount of time that I was at the poker table. And then I would go and I would just be playing more roulette than like I wasn't into the poker game anymore. Like this is when I realized I have like this problem, right? It's not just I'm losing money playing poker, I'm losing money and playing all this other stupid games. So that's why I'm like, I just gotta get out of here and just axe the whole thing, right? So, and that was one of the biggest rushes, putting $25 in one number on a roulette table and then going home. Like, people will play odd even, black red, whatever, then yeah, you double up your money or you lose it, but it's not as exciting. But playing the numbers, I get like this rush, this exhilaration. He calls himself Goat Life Baby. I love playing aggressive players. Easier to make money in stock market than poker. Crypto. Oh, crypto. You know what's funny about crypto? I made some money in crypto. The interesting thing about crypto is, I can't remember what year it was, but I had Bitcoin, I had Ethereum, and I had XRP, Ripple. I think in like 2018. Yeah, I think in 2018 I had not a lot. I think I bought like, I don't know, like $20 worth or something. Like I bought like a minuscule amount. Maybe it was more. Maybe it was like 500, 400. Anyways, I bought Bitcoin, and then I remember it 20x'd, and all of a sudden I had like $4,000 or $5,000 or something, and I cashed in. I sold all my Bitcoin, right? And then I used that money to buy this, right? Bought Sony camera, lens, microphone, and I have another Sony camera right here, and a third one. Like I have a bunch. So I use that Bitcoin money, which started this whole videography stuff, which ignited the YouTube channel. So cryptocurrency was it wasn't like this crazy thing that made me rich, but it gave me this extra side pocket money that I could just throw at, a new hobby. And for me, it was cameras, and which, I'm grateful for, because then I don't know if I would have got this deep into YouTube if I didn't start doing the filmmaking work. Like, I was working like videographer for my friend at weddings, and doing these other gigs like at aquariums, and shooting commercials and stuff. But like, yeah, if I never sold my crypto, I never would have had the money to buy all these cameras that I use today for my YouTube videos. Casino Fallsview. Yeah, I used to go to Fallsview. The old Casino Niagara and Fallsview I used to go to. And then I would take the bus north to Aurelia at Casino Rama. It's like in the middle of the woods. So I know a lot of people from Toronto would take that Chinese Safeway bus, or Taipan Tours, or whatever bus it was. I remember it was owned by some Chinese company. And you take like the bus for $5, and it would take you up into the middle of this forest at a casino. So I used to go there too. Woodbine Racetrack. I work near Woodbine. I work at the airport, pretty much. So I'm close to Woodbine when I work. You can't get away. Casinos are in almost every major city. XRP is going 10x. Is it really? Okay, let's go to an old website. CoinMarketCap. I used to go here every day. So what is Coin? I sold Ripple when I was at like $3. It was like $3 something. Wait, where's so Bitcoin and Ethereum are still up top. Here, XRP. It's 70 cents. Yeah, I think I sold it. It was like $3 or something like that. Ripple won their case against the SEC. Oh, really? Price going only up from here. I got at least 1,500 XRP holding that. Oh, dang. Yo, Red, that's sick. Oh, that's hilarious. Let me see. Can I see like the history of the graph? Like, how do I go all? See, where did it went crazy like in, 2018. This is when I sold it. So what was this peak? Oh man, this graph, it's like a vertical line. I don't know. Anyways, I remember selling Ripple. It was like $3 Canadian, or like $2.50 Canadian or something like that. And that's when I sold it. But I didn't have like a crazy amount. It was only like, I don't know, a couple $1,000s. Casino Rama Aurelia. Yeah, that's where I used to go all the time, dude. Man, I had like the gold membership card, so I started getting like, I get the bus for free, I get co-check for free, and I get dinner for free every night. Well, the dinner sucked. It was like a sandwich and a soup and a pop. That was the dinner I got. But it was, I had co-check for free, bus for free, and food, because I used to go every single day. Casino Rama. Yeah, this thing tastes pretty good. Don't feel the THC at all, though. Is it THC or the CBD? Which one do you feel or don't feel? Is it THC? Anyways, whatever. Maybe I'll have a good sleep. Love Caesars Windsor. Oh, I've never been. I never played in Windsor. I know a lot of my friends did at the time. Man, I used to know all these like 21, 22-year-old dudes that we'd all take the bus together to these casinos, and we're all like low stakes players that took the game like super seriously. I always wonder whatever happened to those guys. You make those like friendships, like those bonds you have with like random people when you're in like a certain environment or industry. Just remember meeting all these like super cool young dudes. It's like we're all trying to get better at poker together, just grinding it out. going here, going there. It was like a nice camaraderie. But back then, like, was there even like what was the iPhone? iPhone 4? I think it was like the iPhone 4 back then. It's like such a different time. Oh dang, we did 150 so far. Okay, I'll probably stream for maybe like another, 10 minutes or so. If you guys have any questions or anything else you want to talk about, I'll probably end it around 9ish. We got more videos to make, more content to work on. Okay, can I show you my? How do I? That limited monetization stuff. It's so like. It's so funny. Whatever. Forget it. I don't want to search for that. But yeah, in terms of like the content, I made like a random post in the community tab. I was sort of talking about how I'm going to sort of be niching down a lot more and focusing more on just like gambling videos and the psychedelic stuff, because there is this interesting connection as well, because psychedelics help me with my gambling addiction, and so I might drop sort of like the self-improvement, cinematic, vlogging, any of those obscure videos that I'd make. I'm going to sort of put those on the back burner for now and just sort of center my channel around these like two certain topics. And it's been growing, like it's every day. It's like 20 new subs that we get to the community, which is super cool. I'm super excited to get all these these new comments from faces I've never seen before. So we're going to try doubling down on this content, like the psychedelic stories and anything related to gambling addiction, and then we'll sort of see how it goes. So that's probably going to be the plan for the future. I subscribed and hey, thanks Lee, appreciate it. Appreciate it, especially from a brother that's from Toronto. Much respect. Well, I was in Toronto a couple weeks ago. I went to the Jeremy Lin and Simu Liu basketball game for like Asian heritage, which was hilarious because I stood out so bad. I stood out horribly at the event, like the only like white looking person there. So funny. When did I go? July 8th. Yeah, July 8th I was in Toronto. Yeah, so like a couple weeks ago. That was funny. Maria Ho, Canadian. Oh, really? She's Canadian? Is Maria Ho is Canadian? Yeah, right. Doesn't she do a lot of is it hosting, or I think she was doing that online broadcast that I was watching of the main event. Dang, she finished 38th in the main event in 2007. Wow. A half Asian male stream. It's so funny. It's just hilarious. Like imagine like you go to this like Asian heritage game, right? Guy got invited through Google, had tickets, whatever, blah blah blah. We go, and it's like, yeah, with like a bunch of my friends, and then they're like, look out into the stands, look at the crowd. And then I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, what are we looking for? And they're like, do you notice that you're the only white guy here? Yo, they're all like ragging on me. It was so funny because I haven't seen my friends in a while. And one of my friends, I mean like my like childhood friends. Derek, you're not full Asian. Don't speak on Asian issues, you bigot. Yeah, exactly right. Isn't that's so funny? The half Asian hate. Oh man, it just makes me laugh. Stop Asian half hate. I'm seeing more female poker players in Vegas. Oh, really? That's interesting. I used to never see any women. Like it was very rare. It was just always dudes all the time. Tina plays though. Tina knows how to play. Chinese people love to gamble in Vegas. Yeah, I have a bunch of couple friends that are Chinese that they just love to gamble, and they believe all of the, what are the numbers? 4 and 8. 8's lucky and 4 is not, right? Because of like the way you say the number 8 in Mandarin or Cantonese, like the pronunciation of the word, it's similar to luck, whereas the pronunciation of the number 4 is poor. Is that how it goes? Can't remember. One of my, something about that. But yeah, one of my friends, they always talk about like 4s and 8s, and then we play like sick bow, and again, it's like betting and all that stuff. So yeah, okay. So yeah, that's cool. That was a fun stream. I'll probably mix up the type of streams that I'll do in the future, but every once in a while I'll throw in a stream dedicated to gambling support in particular, so we can sort of focus on this subject. But bye guys, love your channel. It will blow up. Hey, thanks Lee. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for supporting. Appreciate everything. Red, my brother. Always glad catching up with you. Ni hao. Ni hao. Yeah, Steven, Zachary, everyone else that came by to the stream, Cowboy. Appreciate it. Always love chatting with you guys. And we'll do it again next week, probably on next Sunday if I can. Domo arigato. All right.